Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right, seems that we have audio. Hopefully everything could just stay working this time around, you guys. I am on the road and I was missing y'all, man. I'm gonna be honest, I was missing y'all. So, I had to come and lock in, say what's up to everybody. Right, so we are looking at Bitcoin, right? We have Bitcoin put up here, and as you guys know, right? Well, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but we have been looking at these charts for a long time now, right? We've been looking at these charts for a long time. And by the way, you guys, I am on the road. I'm literally about to start driving right now as we speak, right? I was testing some stuff out. I literally paid for Streamlabs Mobile. I was going to try to use Streamlabs Mobile, but it just wasn't working. So, normally I try to do at least one stream a day at home because some of you may know that recently, I had a five-figure payout with Alpha Capital, and then I bought a PC, right? Because my goal is to one day be able to, stream and actually have good quality, right? Because like I just told you guys right now, I'm on the road. So the quality of this stream really isn't going to be that great. I'm going to just give you guys a heads up right now. So, I mean, if you want to support me, if you want to support the channel, if you want to stick around, that's great, right? But it's probably going to go and it start loading from time to time, especially because right now I'm in Georgia and I'm headed to Mount Eagle, Tennessee. Right, I'm on the road in Georgia, headed to Mount Eagle, Tennessee, and typically these places don't have the best signal, right? So in this video, you guys, what we're going to be talking about is crypto. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Near Protocol, Ethereum, and pretty much we're going to also look at what is this guy doing? Is you fucking retarded or what, man? Go around, bro. Like, man, some of these drivers are, I'm telling you, some of these drivers, it's unbelievable. The stuff you have to deal with when you're on the road. It's truly unbelievable. All right, so I need somebody to come in. Let me know if my audio is working. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I need you guys to let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat, so I'm not just talking to myself. All right, let's get into this video. All right, so a lot of you guys probably know from watching the headlines, right? All right, a lot of you guys probably know from watching the headlines that Bitcoin has been dropping. All right, Bitcoin has been dropping, and people are getting confused. And the obvious reason why a lot of people are getting confused is because there's so many people on YouTube, right? There's so many people on YouTube, and it's a lot of fear that's coming into the market right now. I believe that Bitcoin is going to go under 30,000. Obviously, I know that's hard to believe, and I know that a lot of you don't want to hear that, especially the people who've been buying in at the top. I completely understand. Here's the thing, you guys. I'm making these videos because I'm very passionate about trading and I'm very passionate about investing. And I make videos for the everyday person. Of doing was, learning how to. But the unfortunate reality is, when you go on YouTube, there's so much information on YouTube or just online in general, right? When you go online, there's so much information out there. It's so easy to get confused, to get lost, to get wrapped up in all of the hype, right? If you watch, Fox 2 News or CNN or any of that stuff, if you're watching all of that stuff, it's going to be very easy to get faked out, right? It's going to be very easy to lose track of everything that's going on in the market, all right? And now with everything that's going on with, war, right? WAR, it makes things even more scary, right? It brings on even more uncertainty. Now, a lot of us have, we have already had a lot of uncertainty. What's up, baby? Happy Valentine's Day to my beautiful woman, Melissa Naomi, in the chat. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me, because I was definitely wondering for a second there. I didn't really know if you could hear me or not. All right. And Mel, if you have anything that you want to talk about, feel free to add. Any of your thoughts, any charts that you want to look at, feel free to add that stuff in as well. Like I said earlier, I am on the road right now currently, so this stream isn't going to be my usual scream. The quality of this scream isn't going to be as good as screaming on my PC. So I'm not going to be trying to do too much, too many different things, right? Because everything that I do is going to make the computer lag a little bit more, right? But I just wanted to test this out to see what kind of scream I could make, and what would be the quality of the scream if I was to do it on the road, right? So I'm just pretty much testing this out. I'm using my trucking headset right now. The audio don't sound too bad, so I'm happy about that because I paid $200 for my wireless Go Rogue mics, and they don't even connect wirelessly. It's so crazy how they call it the wireless Go, but they're not wireless. Like that's very disappointing. And I paid $200 for those. I know one day I have to, eventually upgrade. And happy Valentine's Day to you as well. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I was missing everybody online, so I had to jump on here and go live. I know it's the weekend, but if anybody who knows me know I'm addicted to the charts, right? And I just can't stop. And like I was trying to tell you guys earlier, normally I will be home on the weekends, but my company called me and they sent me back to Florida pretty much. So I have to meet a guy in Mount Eagle, Tennessee, and then swap trailers with him, and then go all the way back to Florida. Right? It's not really something that I wanted to do, but it is what it is. She said addicted. Yes, I am addicted. Hey, look, I'm not proud. All right, I am not proud. All right, but we are looking at Bitcoin, the Bitcoin chart. So a lot of you know Bitcoin recently went all the way down to 60,000, and then we came all the way back up to 70,000. Not that much. Right? So be prepared to see it hang around, 80,000 to 60,000. Right? I believe that we're going much lower than that. And I would love to hear what you guys think. Oh, she said addicted in the best way. For sure. Yeah, I mean, that's just my personality in general. When I do things in life, I don't like to go like one foot out, one foot in. So I like to go all in. And sometimes it frustrates me when I can't go all in. Like for example, I like chemistry, but I've always felt like I haven't been able to go all in with chemistry yet because it's always something in the way, right? Truck driving, day trading, or whatever else. But mark my words, one of these days, I will become a chemist, and I will, I'm going to level up when it comes to that. Yeah, Bitcoin, a 50K Bitcoin. Do you think that we could see a 50K Bitcoin this year, or do you think like how long do you think it's going to take? I mean, because it pretty much almost dropped to 60K, right? So 50K, that's not far fetched at all. My prediction is that I think it's going to go below 30,000. I know it sounds crazy, but because of everything that's going on, I think that we could easily see it go below 40,000. In my opinion, when is it going to happen? None of us know. That's why I've been trying to tell as many people as I can. And obviously, this is not financial advice. I always have to remind you guys about that. This is not financial advice. However, I'm just telling you guys what I'm going to be doing, right? And I think this is a golden moment to, start putting some money to the side, whatever you could afford to put to the side, and then make this investment, right? Because, I mean, just do the math. If everybody thinks that Bitcoin is one day going to go to $1 million per Bitcoin. So what does that mean? That means even if you just put $1,000 at 25,000, like let's just use a hypothetical example and say that it go to 25,000, that's a 40x on your $1,000 investment. That's a 40x. So that means you could possibly turn 1,000 into $40,000. How long is it going to take? Nobody knows, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about on the channel today, right? Because there's so many things that can pump the market up. One of those things being war. All right, I'm not really that big on, talking about war and getting all into the fundamentals because it's the quickest way to like lose track of what's really going on, right? You're going to get tricked out of your position almost every time.